He was a history teacher who became a fighter, a man who believed destiny had written his name on the Ivorian presidency. But when power finally came, it didn't come quietly, and when it left in flames. This is a tale of the rise and fall of Laurent Gbagbo, the man who taught history until history turned on him. Once upon a time, in a cocoa-rich nation on Africa's west coast, Côte d'Ivoire, a young man named Laurent Gbagbo stood in a classroom, teaching history to wide-eyed students. But even then, he had bigger dreams. He wasn't content to teach history, he wanted to make it. Born in 1945 to a humble family, Gbagbo grew up under French colonial rule. He saw how power worked, how privilege flowed, and how ordinary people were often left behind. In the 1970s, when President Félix Houphouët-Boigny ruled like a father king, Gbagbo started asking dangerous questions about freedom, fairness, and democracy. For that, he was jailed and exiled more than once, but he returned, each time stronger, hungrier, and more determined. His followers called him Le Bolanga, the baker, because they said he knows how to knead people. He could take anger, hope, and frustration and mold it into a movement. By the 1990s, after decades of single-party rule, democracy finally came to Côte d'Ivoire. Gbagbo's time had come. He founded the Ivorian Popular Front (FPI) and became the voice of the poor and the disillusioned. His slogan, "The time of the people has come." In 2000, after years of protest and political chaos, he rose to power. His supporters danced in the streets. A teacher had become president. But the celebration didn't last long. Côte d'Ivoire, once called the miracle of Africa, was now deeply divided. The North felt marginalized, the South felt entitled, and identity politics tore the country apart. In 2002, soldiers from the North launched a rebellion, splitting the nation into two. For years, there was no peace, only fragile ceasefires. Gbagbo held the South, the rebels held the North, and the world watched as once prosperous Ivory Coast descended into uncertainty. Gbagbo refused to yield. He accused France, Ivory Coast former colonial masters, of meddling. He branded himself a nationalist, a defender of sovereignty. Some called him a patriot, others called him a dictator in disguise. Then came 2010, the year meant to heal the nation. Gbagbo faced off against his longtime rival, Alassane Ouattara, in a long-delayed presidential election. The people voted, the results were in. The Electoral Commission declared Ouattara the winner, but Gbagbo's Constitutional Council annulled votes from the North and claimed he had won. 2 men, 1 country, 2 presidents, and then chaos. Civil war erupted again. Streets turned into battlegrounds. The United Nations, the African Union, and even France sided with Ouattara. Gbagbo dug in at the presidential palace, surrounded by his loyalists. He refused to step down, saying, "I will not leave power by the window when I came through the door." But in April 2011, French and the UN-backed forces stormed Abidjan. After days of fighting, they found Gbagbo hiding in a bunker beneath the palace, dusty and defiant. Cameras rolled as soldiers dragged him out. His era had ended in smoke and rubble. He was handed over to the International Crime Court (ICC) in The Hague, the first former head of state ever tried there for crimes against humanity. For years, he sat in a cell thousands of miles from home, insisting he was innocent. Then, in a twist worthy of his own history books, he was acquitted in 2019. The world had moved on, but in Ivory Coast, his name still sparked fire, love in some hearts, anger in others. Laurent Gbagbo returned home in 2021, older, grayer, but still smiling. He said he wanted peace, not power. Yet for many Ivorians, he remains a symbol of resistance, pride, and tragedy. The history teacher who once dreamed of leading his nation found himself taught the hardest lesson of all, that power once tasted never leaves quietly, that power can make a hero or a tyrant, but history always remembers those who dare to challenge it, even when they fall. Thank you for sticking through till now. I'd like to know your thoughts on Laurent in the comment section. For more stories like this, please follow, like, share and subscribe.